It's been a bleak day here on the North Somerset coast as storm Emma's hit the area pretty hard. No fans are allowed into the darts venues here due to safety concerns, and even the fairground is closed. So this will be a UK Open long remembered, sadly not for all the greatest reasons. But we've had some great darts, and this man, the defending champion of the world, Rob Cross, has had to work hard to see off his talented young opponent, Nathan Aspinall. 10-8 the final score, but Rob trailed for much of that match. Huge respect for Nathan from Stockport. Looking at the stats, good average from Rob, 99. He hit 7 180s in that match, put away a third of his double attempts almost. And we will see him tomorrow. Now I think it's time that we got over to Ned, who's upstairs. He's got some news of some very big names losing out in the third round here in Minehead.
Yeah, one or two big names falling at the third round. We've had 6 completed third round matches here. Let's give you a little roundup of who's in and who's out after the first bout of action here in the multi-board room. That's Matthew Edgar, 10-4. He beat Big John Henderson out, I'm afraid. And then after that, well, it was Jason Lowe, again 10-3 over the Riley's qualifier, David Airy. He's through. After that high-quality encounter, always thought it would be Daryl Gurney, 10-9 against Yeli Klaassen. Klaassen had darts to win that, by the way. After that, Jermaine Watamina, just about getting the better of one man who needs almost no introduction, Steve Beaton. Unfortunately, he is out, though. Then, the Bullets. This was a slow encounter. They started a little bit late, and well, Justin Pipe is out, beaten comprehensively by Stephen Bunting, 10-3. Last but not least, this man, Krzysztof Ratajski. Excellent celebration. 10-7. He got the better of the man from Norfolk, the demolition man, Darren Webster. And you like him, don't you, Alan?
What a character he is. He was just trying to explain it. I mean, last night, he got here yesterday at 3 o'clock. Yeah. Couldn't get a taxi from Taunton, was stuck. He got here at 1 o'clock in the morning because a passerby picked him up in Taunton and got him to the venue. And he's here now in the tournament and just got through that.
Some pedigree.
And he's laughing. He wasn't like stressing. He was just laughing about it. It was, what a character.
Some pedigree as well. I mean, a World Masters champion in the BDO last year.
Well, he's already won a Pro Tour event this year, don't forget. He didn't get a tour card, just missed out in the European Q School. But he has won a Pro Tour event this year, one of the qualifiers. So.
What about that encounter between Gurney and Klaassen? I mean, Daryl Gurney's average, 95.9. At this stage in the tournament, that's almost as good as anybody. Yeah,
when we were looking early on, we thought that was going to be one of the tasty ones, didn't we? And when we saw the names on the board, and, you know, 7-3 up, I think Daryl Gurney was. Yeah. Ended up, you know, going behind for 9-7. Yeah. I think Yelly took 5 legs on the shot, had darts to win the match, missed it, and Daryl got over the line. Very tough. Yeah.
It's excellent down here. We have got loads of talent on the oche at the moment. Paul Hogan against Paul Nickinson at the moment, and that is close. Bring you up to date with the winning darts as and when they fly in.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Ned and Alan Warren Little. Character Krzysztof Ratajski is. Well, we will be back with you after the next game on the main board, which sees 2 old friends meeting each other. Raymond van Barneveld, who had quite a let-off this afternoon against Mike Norton, which we were talking about earlier, and Mervyn King. Let's get them on stage now with John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the third round action of the Coral UK Open, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation, live on ITV Sport. Would you please welcome Mervyn King and Raymond van Barneveld.
Taking over in the commentary box, Alan Warren a little and John Rawling.
Thank you very much indeed. And looking forward to this one. They've got a terrific rivalry which goes back an awful long way. They first played together in 1999 and they've played 30 times in all. And Mervyn King here, the older by 1 year, 51 years old, the King. And still, as you see, ranked in the top 32, currently ranked number 24. Reached a Euro Tour final last year. Didn't do too well on the televised events, but still a redoubtable competitor. And Raymond van Barneveld, well, we saw him earlier on, a little bit lucky getting in against Mike Norton, and he'll know that more than anybody else. Mike effectively did enough to have beaten him, the Somerset man, but he missed 6 match darts, and so Raymond prevailed and has the chance to emulate the victories that he had in this tournament in years gone by. Raymond van Barneveld's won on 19 occasions, Mervyn King 9 times, and they've had 2 draws.
Game on.
So Van Barneveld with the darts.
$91.
Last time they played against each other, Van Barneveld and King,
140.
was in the 2016 World Grand Prix, and on that occasion Barney won 2-0. And interestingly, those of you
60.
with a really long memory of meaningful victories will recall Raymond van Barneveld becoming the Lakeside champion back in 2003, and on the way, who did he beat? Yep, Mervyn
100.
King. And that year as well, in 2003, they met 3 times in big BDO tournament finals as well, with Raymond van Barneveld emerging
100.
victorious. Playing with his earplugs, as ever, Mervyn King. Raymond was wearing them earlier on as well in his match. Not sure if he's got them in at the moment. Maybe we can see from side on. Yep, there they are. He's got the earplugs as well.
92. 160.
So, Mervyn is on a finish. 161 for an immediate break of throw. It's a good dart.
89.
Oh, that's not bad. Barney can do this. Had a big check out earlier on, and he's got a chance of another one here. Not now, though. So all he can do is try and set it up, and he
85.
certainly didn't need a 5 to end it. So Mervyn, 72 for this opening leg. 16 would leave tops. Tops he's on. And tops he gets. What a good start from Mervyn King. Ideal, just what he wanted. And the break of throw.
First. Game on.
Oh, good start.
140.
Mervyn, who made his way down here on Wednesday to beat the bad weather. He was practicing hours in the Butlins complex
60.
right here yesterday. Always one of those who works hardest in his preparations. Always one of the first to arrive. And at the moment, it's reaping dividends, Alan.
Yeah, so always the first in the building is Mervyn. The old joke that he pairs with the milkman. It's always the first in the building. But he does
85.
work very hard at his game.
And he's not had, he's not had big wins, but he maintains that top 32 average. Oh, excellent. First maximum of the match. And he's got a reputation of being one of the really difficult guys to get past.
He's a quality professional.
47.
He knows it. He knows he has to practice harder now as he's getting older, and the game's getting harder, and that's exactly what he does.
Double 16 for 2-0. That's not a bad marker, just having to move along the hockey to create the right angle. There you see it, and there you see him take it. Beautiful camera shot, which showed exactly the trajectory and the angle that he needed to squeeze past that first 16, just the wrong side of the wire, and make the little correction necessary.
60.
Yeah, it's strange as well. Still got the earplugs in, despite there being no crowd as well. But I suppose
They
it's
both
something that, yeah, probably suppose they're used to doing it, so they want to stay with the same preparation, I suppose.
Well, we were saying earlier on when I was
100.
with Chris Mason this afternoon, Alan, that when they've got the if you're in a small crowd, sometimes the one voice can be more of a distraction than hearing the wall of noise in a Premier League match.
Yeah, that's true, is that when you're playing the wall of noise, you kind of don't hear it, which sounds a strange thing, but when you hear something out of the ordinary. That's what can spoil your concentration.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have to be very loud in the current atmosphere there, could it? Just a sort of a gentle boop.
57.
Was that an owl impression, Mr. Rawling?
We are in a soundproof box, incidentally, here, so they can't hear my owl impression.
Oh, dear.
Meanwhile, on with the darts, where Mervyn King has made a really good start. He's averaging over 107 at the moment, compared with Barney's 78.
Well, Barney really had to dig deep, didn't he, in his first round encounter, and Mike Norton had 6 darts to the double to win the match. Barney got away with it, but played pretty well at the right time.
And Mike should have won it, shouldn't he? I mean,
well, he's going to kick himself,
won't
yeah.
He had the chance to beat one of the greats of the game, and he should have taken it, and he'll need no reminding that he didn't, and he'll beat himself up about that. So, 93 for Mervyn. Treble 14 he's looking at. So, has to just set up and hope that Van Barneveld can't take this out.
Well, yeah, didn't go the bull route. Had the confidence to go for the treble. But Barney will get a dart at his favourite double. And he hits his favourite double.
Beautifully done, wasn't it? Beautifully done. You kind of always fancied him to take that out. It was lovely rhythm, and that double 18, as you say, it's his favourite area of the board, and it was just socking.
As a professional, when you've got to finish around that 100 mark, you almost kind of expect at least a dart at the double. Not hit it, but at least a dart at the double. You've got 2 darts at the big treble. Barney's making his move.
39.
This is more like the Barney we know, and a good response though from Mervyn. How about this?
140.
His 5th ton 40. He's outscoring Barney at the moment.
Yeah, we have to remember as well the distance now. You know, first a race to 10, that's to 19.
140.
Both players will be pretty much aware of that and know they've still got time to really get their rhythm going in the match.
A lot of respect between these two, going back a long way.
100.
His problems with sciatica, Mervyn King. Hope it doesn't afflict him this weekend.
134.
Good visit there from Barney. Opportunity to get to 2-2.
Well, he's going to get that opportunity. He's just taken out 116.
55.
He'll certainly be fancying this. Oh, good darts. Double 14. Beautifully done. Just squeaking in. So back to back. 88 after 116.
Into the 5th leg, both players fantastic on their doubles. 2 out of 2 for Barney, 2 out of 3 for Mervyn. Good standard.
A break at the end of this leg. Key for Van Barneveld that he holds his throw. Doesn't want to be chasing the game again when he comes back from the interval.
Yeah, when he's got to this point, when he was 2-0 down and back to 2-2, but throwing first before the break, as you just mentioned, John. If he does lose the leg, he's almost got back to square one.
100.
Mervyn went out at this stage in the last 2 years. Lost to Alan Tabern last year and Benito the year before. Benito van der Pas.
He's playing well at the moment. He's got to consistently keep this scoring for the next half an hour or so.
Barney was the champion in 2006 and 2007.
93.
And lost to Peter Wright in the quarterfinals last year.
Yeah, I remember last year he looked really good, didn't he, until the quarterfinals, and
97.
His form just dipped just a little bit. And obviously Peter was on a high, playing pretty well. He just couldn't get over the line.
Defending champion, of course, this year, Peter.
65.
Michael van Gerwen had to miss it last year because of a back injury. 170 required. He's got the first treble 20. He's got the second bullseye for 170. Oh, he thought and hoped that he was going to win that one in the grand manner.
That was close. Awesome, Mervyn. This is another biggie. Needs another one for oh, can't do it this time. So Mervyn will return. He missed the 170, but he's got another opportunity.
988. There's the fat 9, 88 now for the break of throw, and he takes it. 3 doubles out of 5, and King gets his nose ahead once more. He leads Raymond van Barneveld, twice former winner of this event. He leads 3-2 as they leave the stage, exchanging 1 or 2 pleasantries, all being played in a very nice spirit. Yes, well played, old boy. To snowy Minehead, where John Parts, 3-time former world champion, he needed tops for the match. Tops was what he got, and he beat David Evans 10-2. Not won a televised match in 3 years before coming here. Well, he's won 3 in a day now, and moving on into the 4th round.
Yeah, marvellous day for JP. Full of the joys of spring when I spoke to him earlier, ready for his game that he's just won there, and I'm sure he'll be a little bit happier now.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, in the event in front of us here, Mervyn King has the break of throw, now with the darts, and he's 3-2 up against Raymond van Barneveld in this race to 10. Bring you all the other latest scores shortly.
60.
Let's take a look at those now. Other boards. Robert Thornton, early advantage in that match. Jamie Lewis getting a hammering. Wadey 6-4 up. Paul Nicholson losing to Paul Hogan. Schindler Harrington locked at 6-all, and Chizzy in a bit of trouble, 6-4 down.
Yeah, Ryan Meikle, quality player, came down from 5-0 down earlier on today to win 6-5. If this game can continue with the quality that we've seen already in the first 5 legs, should be pretty good.
Schindler now 8-6 up against Harrington.
You require if you want.
So Mervyn now looking for 81 to go 4-2 up.
That's
20
okay.
Tops.
Yeah, it was okay getting the treble 7 there. Took the odd one off.
Yeah, if you're gonna miss your 19, treble 7's not a bad one to be hitting, is it?
Barney a long way behind in this leg.
Paul Hogan winning against Paul Nicholson. Good player, isn't he, Paul? He's been around a long time and still a dangerous man.
He's a dogged character. Hard to beat.
Good darts. 4 out of 7 now on the doubles for Mervyn.
Game on.
Averaging nearly 106. And 4-2 up. He's on his game.
95.
Barney had to dig in and come from behind earlier. Is he going to have to do the same again? Can't afford to get too far behind. If Mervyn gets a real cushion, if he got another break, you'd really be fancying him, and he's straight away into the groove again.
Yeah, when you're trying to come back against a player who's averaging 107 and playing very well, it's obviously more difficult. He won't panic yet because it is a race to 10, so it is a long distance match.
Doesn't need bounce outs like that.
And it plays havoc with your mind a little bit because it's almost like everything's going against you when you get a bounce out at the wrong time.
81. $125.
I feel he has to win this leg.
Martin Schindler, who was the last of all the pros to arrive here, got into Gatwick and managed to battle his way through the snow today, arrived just in time to register for his 3rd round match against Ryan Harrington. So after a day in the car, he's 9-6 up. One away from victory.
Yeah, fair play to him. We've had a few stories. We saw the Christoph Ratajski one. He arrived just at 3 o'clock and didn't get at Taunton. Couldn't get a taxi. Managed to give somebody a push out of the snow in the car, and they gave him a lift to Minehead.
As you would. So, King now for 5-2 for another break of throw. And the way he's going, you'd think there's a very good chance of this being taken. Double 16. Oh, yes. Never in doubt. He's played beautifully, Alan.
He's playing absolutely outstanding. I mean, his scoring's been very good. I mean, look at 11 140s, 8-ton plus finishes, 8-ton pluses rather, a maximum, but doubles, 5 out of 8.
Yeah,
outstanding.
That is outstanding. And, well, if you could maintain this sort of standard right through the match, you'd have to say it's certainly one of the performances of the day.
Well, with stats like that, you're basically reducing your opponent's options to very minimal chances, really. You're not going to get that many chances. I mean, Barney has had 2 darts at a double and hit them both.
Being outscored and outscored brilliantly by Mervyn King. Doesn't like that. Has to work right to the right-hand side of the oche, as you could see, and unable to find the red stuff.
Better for Barney.
Blinking a bit uncomfortably.
28.
Does he wear contact lenses, Barney?
I'm not sure about the contact lenses, but he went through that phase, didn't he, where he was wearing glasses, then he took them off, then he wore them again, then he took them off.
60.
And he wasn't quite sure which was the right route to follow.
Well, as a contact lens wearer myself, I know if you're in an area where there's air conditioning, or indeed if it's cold, as it is in that room, it can create problems.
I'll be prudent to say it's mainly probably because of the scoreline.
5-2 down.
Yeah.
And it's enough to make anybody blink, isn't it? Because Mervyn at the moment is producing really good darts. But there's a chance, and a good chance here, of a break back now for Raymond.
Yeah, that's what he's got to focus on. He's looking a little bit despondent at the moment.
Seen a bit of that in his Premier League matches, haven't we? He's not looked as though he's got quite the buzz and the spark that he produced in getting to the final of the Masters.
Oh, he looked fantastic in that event, didn't he? Was in front of Michael. Quite a few occasions in that final and just got pipped in the end.
Amazing how often games between Michael van Gerwen and Raymond van Barneveld do turn out to be sensationally good. I think Michael sort of has him on a pedestal slightly, and Raymond knows it and responds. Oh, good finish. That's more, Barney. That's more what we expect.
Well, 3 out of 3 on the doubles for RVB. Just needs to increase the scoring power.
Game on.
5-3. How he'd love to get to the next interval at 5-all. What he doesn't need is to be going to it at 7-3. 6-4 would be just about okay. But he certainly needs to win one of the next 2 legs at least. Schindler, the German, I'm told, has won that match now. 10-7. He's through into round 4 and averaged over 98. Good darts.
He'll be very pleased with the win. Certainly after his travelling escapades, he'll be over the moon.
Makes it worthwhile, doesn't he? Oh, good darts. Second maximum for Mervyn. Raymond van Barneveld yet to find one this evening.
Do we one now? He really could. 1-4 to be okay. Ton probably not enough.
No, he's.
I mean, he threw first in this leg, and you mentioned him about going to the next break. But Mervyn is fighting back here.
Absolutely. If he can get to this next break at 7-3, and if he gets the break here, he'll obviously have the darts in the next leg. So a very real chance if he can put this one away. Then Raymond really will be under the cosh. 103 now.
Well, he's giving himself the opportunity. Barney not on a finish. 11 for double 16.
Oh, superb! He's had checkouts of big ones already, who's been slotting them in superbly, and he's got another one there.
Yeah, great finishing from Mervyn. Well, both players really, but Mervyn, 6 out of 9. 6-3 up, break to come after this leg.
Latest scores from the other boards.
125.
Robert Thornton losing 4-2. Jamie Lewis has gone out, beaten 10-2. Wadey looking in command. Paul Nicholson has been beaten by Paul Hogan, 10-6. There's that win
100.
for Schindler against Harrington. And Dave Chizzy in some trouble. Chisnell is 8-4 down.
Yeah, he's just struggling for some good form at the moment. There's a few other players are, but not Mervyn King. He's on fire.
He's maintaining this stratospheric average as well. He's over 105 against Barney's 89.
100.
There you go. That is a massive difference in a match, isn't it? It really is.
Well, it underlines just why he's playing so well, or why he's got this commanding advantage in the scores. And there you see checkouts as well.
60.
Barney's got 3 out of 3, but with more attempts and more winning opportunities. Mervyn's checkout rate terrific as well. 67% is one that anybody would take with some enthusiasm. 136. Can't be done this time, but he's got time on his hands. Lovely setup.
96.
When you're scoring that heavy and you're not messing about on the doubles, you're going to be very, very hard to beat.
Well, I said just what Barney doesn't need is to be going into this break. That looks as though it's going to be the case now. Not a bad marker. And there's the adjustment, and Mervyn King is absolutely in the zone, and Barney knows that right now he is on the receiving end. He goes to the break 7-3 down. Well played, Mervyn King. Paul Hogan got to the last 16 last year, and he's at it again. He's put Paul Nicholson out and beaten him 10-6 and through into the 4th round. Here on our board, Mervyn King leads Raymond van Barneveld 7-3. Looking at a little bit of discomfort as he left the stage. We mentioned that he has sometimes a problem with sciatica, Mervyn. Well, if he's struggling this time, he's managing to control it pretty well, because he's averaging nearly 103.5. 64% on his doubles, 7 out of 11. But he's just limping a little.
Well,
he's been outstanding in the first 2 sessions. He's outscored Barney. He's finished in his legs pretty quickly. 7 out of 11, averaging 103.5.
Poor start from Barney. And King, is he going to jump straight all over it from the outset? Oh, good dart, needed that. And he takes the early advantage. Another break of throw, and you'd think it's just about all over, although
58.
Everybody remembers that famous occasion when he was poised for victory when James Wade went and did him. Was he 9-2 up or something and lost 10-9?
Folded like a cheap tent, as they say.
60.
It's an interesting, interesting metaphor.
$100.
There's just no spark in Barney at the moment.
No.
Just by his body language, he's meandering back to the back of the hockey. Just can't seem to get any motivation. You've got to earn that motivation, John, and you know, win a good couple of legs, a good finish, 180 even. He's not hit a maximum in this match yet.
He's always a very, very good front runner, Barney,
100.
but doesn't necessarily always have the greatest reputation of a comeback kid, although he did earlier on.
I think it's always with him down to the way he's playing at that moment, not necessarily losing, but I know what you mean. But if he's just not hitting anything, he just gets down with himself and just can't understand why he's not hitting it.
Well, he's not hit anything there. That is a poor visit from Barney. He's on a finish, but not where he'd have wanted, and Mervyn has first dip at this 152. Can't do it now, but he can make big inroads. Needs a treble. Well, Barney got away with that a little bit.
154.
Well, we've seen him hit many big finishes in his career, and that was such a long way off the treble 20 there. I was just going to say this was the kind of spark he needed to get himself going in the match. He didn't even light it.
Both of them then on 96. Mervyn with first dip gets the single. Oh, made a bit of a mess of it, and he knows it.
48.
So what can Barney do with this? He'll try, of course, for treble 20 and double 18. Likes it up there. Good dart. Double 8.
80.
Almost, but not quite.
48.
Might just have lit the blue touch paper. 48 then for Mervyn King for 8-3. Double 16. Oh yes. Finishing is killing him, isn't it? 8 out of 12.
Yeah, his doubles have been impeccable, really. Even the misses, which have been very few and far between, he's hit it with the next dart in throw. So he's not allowed Barney back to the board.
Barney's looking as though he could do with a good lie down, isn't he? He's not really at the races this evening at all. Here's some of the other scores coming through. Notable among them, victory for James Wade, 10-6 into the next round. Kirk Shepherd losing against Michael Smith, 3-0. And there's confirmation that Dave Chisnell has lost 10-6 to Ryan Meikle.
That's Mervyn.
Fourth maximum.
Yeah, number 4. Barney yet to hit one. Mervyn has maintained his average all the way through the match, over the 100 mark, so he's maintained his standard, and Barney just hasn't managed to get up to that. 16 difference, massive.
Yeah, he looks as though he's on his way to victory here, Mervyn King. He's not quite at the standard that he was earlier in the match, but it's a pretty good effort nevertheless, and it'd be a Herculean standard of comeback if Van Barneveld could claw his way back from here.
It just doesn't look like at this moment in time. Simple reason, not just the scoreline, as Mervyn sets this up with a big 18 to leave tops, but his body language, he's just not.
Towel almost looks as though it's come in. And tops for King, 9-3. He's almost there. He only needs one more leg.
Game on.
This is at the start of that session. Look, we said he'd got a real sort of hangdog look about him, and that's the moment when I said he looks like he needs to go and have a good lie down.
Oh, where the game's gone, it won't be long before he does. He's just not performed. He knows that as well. You know, he's such a quality performer. We all know that. He just hasn't performed this evening. You know, he had a fantastic game this afternoon to claw his way out of a possible defeat against Mike Norton.
57.
3 matches in one day.
Yeah, it is difficult. I mean, these players are used to that. We do it so often now on the European Tour events and a lot of the ITV events, but...
And of course he's only had the 2, I beg your pardon. Sorry, Alan.
But they should be used to this now. But you've got to prepare yourself as you have done with every other tournament.
140.
Mervyn will be looking at this point, see if he can leave a finish, but needs to get a treble.
45.
Van Barneveld 6 darts from here, 208 required. Decent last dart.
Bad first one. Not a great second one either.
24.
So 114 to keep his hopes alive. King's not on a finish. 14 to leave tops. 114. He's missed one.
Well, Mervyn made a bit of a mess of the last visit, so hasn't left a finish. But he won't be unduly worried. He knows he's got a massive lead.
31.
And will be throwing first in the next leg.
Raymond's got to get this. And does.
Short in the 30 flag. Raymond Barneveld.
Pick it out of the board with massive enthusiasm, does he?
Game on.
It's like he's lost a tenner and found a pound.
Well, we all know that feeling, Alan.
140.
Some more than others. That's more like it.
Just no spark there at all in his game. He's had moments, but they've been few and far between as
80.
the William Tell moment happens again for Mervyn.
The one which connects in the back of the darts for the non-initiated, doesn't score.
60.
That counts as a miss.
Yeah, you can't play your joker, get a double. Like it's a knockout.
Just closing in now, Mervyn King. That's 140 just when he needed it. And it may very well be that he's going to have 6 darts to go for that. It is.
60.
Well, we have to admire really Mervyn King's performance here all the way through the match. He's maintained the standard all the way through. He's scored heavily. He's outscored Barney all the way through the match.
41.
Consistently averaged over 100 and has hardly missed a double.
Barney needs ton 40 minimum, you'd think. Oh, he's going to get it.
140.
Missed that by a distance, didn't he?
You require 100.
But ton now for Mervyn King for the match.
If it's a single 20, he quite often goes for the 16 route.
And duly did.
52. You require 120.
Shanghai to stay in the match from RVB.
Needs the treble now.
Not happening. Not happening
60.
at all.
So is this the moment that Mervyn King closes his man out? 48. That's the 16. And that's the double 16. A really high quality performance from Mervyn King. Thoroughly deserved that. Barney a long way short of his best, only averaging around about 87. Mervyn averaged just shy of a ton. He's finishing top class right the way through, and he's come through a very emphatic winner into round 4, beating Raymond 10-4.